Today's narration is coming from the gym, so if there's excess background noise or any kind of music, you know that's why. I kind of went through beforehand and checked to make sure you can hear my voice, and you can. But today is a max effort bench workout, max effort upper body. I started with reverse band bench press. This is the third and final week. I didn't feel too much stronger on this really at all. And so you see I got 2 reps here, all right, and then Linda was helping me with this one, so I thanked her greatly. I just got a little bit of a force rep there, and then I need to get more volume work, I feel, with bench press than just max effort singles, doubles, triples, even sets of 5 to 6. And so I think moving forward, I'm going to do 2 sets on my max effort days, but not go quite nearly to failure on them. From our reverse band bench press for 350 for 2, moved on dumbbell floor press with the 95s. I did 22 reps on the first set. Last week I did 85 for 23, and the previous week I did 75 for 23. So I'd say that's pretty darn good improvement. Pretty happy with that. But I do have a high-fat diet right now and very low carbohydrate, extremely low, like no added carbs other than some vegetables. The reason that's important because on my second set of floor presses here, this high rep set, I try to do about 80% of the previous sets, and it's like 2 to 3 minutes rest. I got only 14 reps when I got 22 the previous set, so my kind of endurance is dying down, so I kind of just do one all-out set and kind of putter out. In our first set of our superset here, do 110-pound dumbbell rows with their arms. Notice I'm really pushing my shoulder blade forward. I'm actually protracting my shoulder blades, trying to get a nice stretch in my lats. I'm actually pulling somewhat toward my hip. It's a little hard with the weight. If I had some more support, or if my body were a little more upright, it'd be a little easier to pull toward my hip to engage the lat some more. But I'm really working my rhomboids, teres muscles, as well as the lat to a very large extent. I'm getting a great stretch. And this set wasn't quite as dead stop on the ground because the dumbbell, whenever you touch the ground, and after our dumbbell rows, we go into Scarecrows. These are pretty low rep, but it's a very long time frame and time under tension for the rep. It's only just 6 reps with 10 pounds, but it's really working some major functions of the shoulder blades. We're doing a retraction of my shoulder blades. So I'm protracting here, retracting, lifting up, external rotation, and overhead press. And so I'm trying to use the entire musculature of my back to support this. I'm actually lifting my chest up a little bit, so I'm getting some thoracic extension here. So I'm using my mid back and even some of my lower back to stabilize me here. But I love this superset. I really, really do. And so I actually missed my second superset. I forgot my phone. I don't feel like porting it over, but I didn't get it with the camera. And so we're just going through real quick at 3 times speed, I think it is. And set number 2. And dumbbell rows are one of my favorite exercises. I'm really doing them with no straps. For a very specific reason. I want to improve my grip strength as well as my forearm strength and overall. And now we're moving into our final 4th set here. Keeping it very nice and controlled. These were definitely dead stop. I made a very conscious effort to make them dead stop. I'm having a little bit of trunk rotation. It's pretty minimal, but I'm keeping it pretty, I would say, to a very good minimum. That's not necessarily the worst thing, but I'm trying to keep my trunk as stable as I can, so my torso isn't rotating because it ends up engaging it does engage my core a lot more. It also puts a little bit more strain on the other lat, kind of in a pulling motion when I don't want it to be pulling, I want it to be resting. I just alternate my beginning arm, my starting arm on each one. And again, these are one of my favorite exercises. I've done them for years with straps. I go up to 150s. I wouldn't say they're super easy, but I can get by pretty effectively. And coming up as our last set of Scarecrows, I think I did more than enough reps here. Probably should have fast forwarded through this. I don't have too much to say right here. But after these Scarecrows, we're moving into our first of 2 sets of tricep of behind the back barbell shrugs, going into weighted hanging serratus raises or serratus pull-up, and then dumbbell hammer curls. At the end of that last set, I saw that I actually stretched my upper back out, trying to stretch out those muscles and make sure I stretch. One of the cool things about behind the back barbell shrugs, I've mentioned this before, is that you don't work just the top portion of your trapezius or just your trapezius. You're working almost the entire upper back musculature, and you're able to get the part of the rhomboid and trapezius that actually goes down towards your mid-back, which isn't worked very often unless you're doing just a prone shoulder retraction. And then these are awesome for shoulder health, one, as well as strengthening the shoulder girdle, strengthening the traps. It's good for your grip, just kind of hanging there. But they're a good exercise that very few people can do because they don't have the mobility in their shoulder girdle. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing it, is to maintain and improve that mobility, even though it's pretty good so far. And then you got to do some arm work. I mean, who doesn't want to do arm work? Got to get some guns, and just finishing up with some curls here. And then I changed the angle for this next one, and I also sped it up because there's not too much to say. I've said before. Thankfully, I will be changing my exercises next week. I like these rotations and like these exercise choices and pairings, but it's always good to get a nice little break. And you can see from the front, I'm really dipping my head down. My head isn't moving a whole lot. My chin isn't moving too much. It's really my shoulder girdle that's moving. But going back to the exercise selection, it's changing next week, so I'm very glad. I don't know what it's going to be right now. I need to look back and see. I know that I'm going to be probably going back to some incline variation of bench press, probably just incline barbell press, make it nice and simple. And really, that's all I have planned out so far. My supersets and trisets during my leg workouts will get a little bit more compound movements. Right now, they're all sled dragging, so they're eccentric lifts. But I'll include some movements that are compound lifts, and so I use my eccentrics. But thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the next video. Sorry for any kind of bad audio in this one.